Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We make something happen for your listening pleasure. We continue to do that as often as possible. We've got over 1,500 of these available, and we continue to add whenever I can. And so this is again our healing series. What are some signs that you're healing from emotional trauma and or difficulty? The first thing is that you begin not to rush through your healing process. A lot of times people are, not necessarily realistic with themselves if they've been through a lot of abuse or neglect or social isolation or physical or mental or emotional challenges. And so they expect themselves to heal quickly. Everyone heals at their own rate, and the realization that you may not heal as quickly as you want to or as quickly as people think that you should can be overwhelming, especially if you're trying to please others through how quickly you're healing. Realize that you're going to have ups and downs. Realize that when you focus on certain aspects of your past, you may be triggered to go back in time for a moment about the things that happened to you, and that so, some days, are going to be better than others. But in the end, you will ultimately get to a place where you can find a certain semblance of value in the ways in which you relate with the rest of the world. And you can also find that you don't need to rush through the healing process. The next thing is you will be willing to go outside of your comfort zone. Look, healing in truth is all about finding ways to see yourself as a person who is going outside of your comfort zone to experience new experiences, to do new things, to see the world from a different perspective, to know that there's more to the world than what you've already been through. You'll be able to take things in stride because the understanding that at the end of the day, everything that's happened to you is just an experience. Now, some of them are unpleasant, certainly. Some of them are unfortunate. Some of them are either even unjustified or unfair. But the reality of the situation is, truthfully, that we don't necessarily understand everything that's happening in a moment. Sometimes the greatest things in the world that happen to us come from some of the worst experiences we could ever possibly have. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It also doesn't mean that you deserve to suffer. It just means at some level there is a reason that we can re-give to uncomfortable situations that can allow us to feel different, better, or more focused on the things that truly do matter from us and to us and for us. And so when we begin to understand how to identify the things that matter most, we then are making decisions about the future. We're making decisions about the meanings we give to things. Human life breaks down to three things: focus, meaning, action. What am I focused on? What does it mean to me? What actions do I take as a result? And so when we begin to see things as being taken in stride, we also then begin to let go of the aspect of human fallacy that says, hey, I shouldn't have to suffer. Well, no one should have to suffer, but people often do. It's not because they deserve to. It's not because some people are better than others. It's just because sometimes at some level life happens and we have to respond and react to it in a way that's in accordance with what is best. Having a good support system, or a support system that at least allows you to be yourself and continue to grow and continue to focus on growth, development, and meaning in a longer term and a longer form, is also super essential and important when we are beginning to identify how to begin to recover. Finding peace within yourself about the things you've already been through and the hardships that have come to you in ways that you don't think are fair or justified or kind is also an important aspect in making decisions about what comes next. Now, just because something happens doesn't mean that we think it's fair or justified. Also, just because something happens doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. A lot of times we can look at things from a progressive and regressive mindset. That is to say, when we look at things in a deeper way, we are really looking at the realities of how the world needs to unfold in a good way, and we begin to do so to the best of our ability. When we begin to have that understanding, we can also then move forward in a good way and continue to make a life that is better overall for us. And again, we continue to do things to the best of our ability. Again, until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.